welcome to this FluteCast called One-Handed Drumming? No, One-Handed Flute. So why do I have this beautiful djembe in front of me? Because we're going to use it and we're going to play it at the same time we're going to play our flute. This is a great solo technique. It's a great thing. Not hard to learn. A little challenging at first, but isn't everything that is valuable. And we're going to use for this a relatively small flute. This is a B flute, upper range of a mid-range flute, but this is actually a quite high flute, and it goes perfectly with playing one-handed flute and flute and drum together, because if you're going to play with drummers, especially these large djembe drums, if you're going to go to a community music gathering, you're going to take a smaller flute. And this is smaller, and you can even go higher if you go to a drum circle or something like that. Take one that's even smaller and higher, and you'll really cut over the drums. So it's really valuable whenever you're playing with percussion to use a higher flute. And we're going to need some blue tape. Blue tape, because it's guaranteed not to mar the finish of your flute. And I'm going to take a section of tape and I'm going to tape over the top 3 holes. I'm just going to put it on there, and the maker of this flute is cringing right now. However, it shouldn't hurt the body of the flute. Very stylish new flute. And this is just an exercise to get started. And what we're going to do is, now that we've taped our flute over, we're going to play the drum with one hand. Right, so a lot of things you can do with one hand. If you're doing this at the flute circle, you can get people to facilitate people and playing a large drum. Experiment with the sounds. You can go around the room and have them play one at a time, play each note that they can hear. There's a nice note slightly off center on djembes. There's a high note out here. I'm just tapping the end. Play it with your fingers. Experiment with it. Get kind of comfortable with it. And while you're doing this, pick up your flute. Now you notice you're picking up your flute with your non-dominant hand, right? If you ask people to play a drum, they're going to play with their dominant hand. That's great. Keep on playing and pick up the flute. Now you're going to be playing with a non-dominant hand. No problem. That's exactly what we want to do. And you've got the top 3 finger holes covered. So you're going to play the bottom 3. The easiest thing to do is try a long tone. It's a little harder on the that top hole. You don't want to drop the flute, so I've put my pinky on, and I've got 3 points of contact: my thumb, the inside of my index finger, and my pinky braced against the flute. And you're also bracing against your lips. Very quickly, you'll get into being able to play your flute. Too much fun here. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy to do. Give yourself 10-15 minutes to get into it, and you're going to be having an awful lot of fun. You can even go to a shaker that I have here. There it is. That's the idea. Now you have a piece of tape on here. Next step is take the tape off. Now that you've got experience in that, you might play with the tape on for a week. 3 minutes a day for a week. Perfect. Now I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I'm going to be playing the drum with my dominant hands. And I have the top 3 finger holes covered. Get that pinky onto the flute. We're going to need it, of course. Okay, fairly straightforward to do after you've been playing on the bottom holes. By the way, let me go back to the top finger holes covered, and I should have pointed out, very valuable thing. You can, okay, we've got how many notes here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got more than that. We've got cross-fingered notes. There's actually 6 notes that I count that you can play on these bottom 3 holes, and I'll play them chromatic scale. Now, we're going to move to the top holes, and it looks like we only have 3 note possibility. But we actually have much more on the top holes, and I think in the end this is where if you're gonna develop this and you're gonna use it, maybe even performance, you're gonna want to use these top holes because first of all they're higher, they work better with the drum, and you have more possibilities because remember I said get your pinky onto the body of the flute. We're gonna put the pinky to use for the first time. We're gonna play not just a 3-hole flute, but we're going to play a 4-hole flute. There it is. Try getting the pinky onto the 4th hole from the top. Okay? Okay, so there we are, normal setup, and now we're moving the pinky onto the flute. And this is the point where most people go, oh, my hand is getting sore. So shake it out if you need to. And put your hands on the 3-finger holes like you normally play the instrument and feel how light that is. And now keep that lightness and reach over and gently put your pinky onto the finger hole. We're not going to gain anything by gripping the flute ultra tight. Okay? You are going to get the finger holes covered after a while, just like beginners. It takes a while to get the finger holes covered. But now we have more melodic possibilities. Back to having 4 notes, but we actually have more notes. And I'm going to run through them all. Here we go. And on most flutes, if you pick up the 3rd finger from the top, you'll get a half step higher. It doesn't work so well on this flute, but many flutes, you'll get a note that's a half step higher. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and all holes open, 8. 8 notes on the top. They're chromatic notes, but we've got a lot to work with here. So have fun with this. Enjoy one-handed fluting. Bye for now.